Have a few minutes? You won't believe what you can do with it. Open a Regions checking account online in as little as 5 minutes. Then enjoy award-winning service and banking tools and tech that help you live in the moment. Learn more at regions.com/live in the moment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is presented by Regions Bank. Brave the beginning. Member FDIC.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to another, hopefully today, award-winning edition of Gwinnett Business Radio here on Business RadioX from the Subaru of Gwinnett studios. I am normally your trusty, slightly annoying co-host, Stephen Julian, but I've been bumped up to the captain's chair today. That means that Mike Salmon is behind the desk producing, and we'll see if he does a good job. Actually, he'll do a great job. The real question is, will I do a good job? Well, that's not up to me. It's up to our guests. No pressure on you guys. We're excited to have in the studio, we have Stephen Collins from Gsage Capital. We also have Jessica Gardner. She is the CEO of Blueprint to Success. Welcome you guys to the studio.
Hello.
Yeah, glad to have you here. Stephen, we're going to start with you. Stephen Collins of Gsage Capital. Tell me, I know it has something to do with capital, so you better break it down for me. Tell me about Gsage Capital and exactly what you guys do.
Sure. Gsage Capital is a brokerage firm that puts together commercial loan packages for small, medium, and large-sized companies in the metro Atlanta area and throughout the Southeast. Our goal is to take a consulting approach in putting the type of commercial loan packages together. Then we seek out the lending sources, which can be a conventional banker, could be SBA lender, hard money lender, bridge lender, or private money lender. And we present that to various lenders throughout the United States here to accomplish the single goal, which is to put a commercial loan on the table for our client.
That sounds like something you didn't just walk in off the street and start doing day one. So tell me a little bit about your background in the financial industry that you bring to Gsage Capital.
Sure. I've been in the financial industry since 1989. Wow, I'm telling my age now.
You were 12.
I was 12. Basically, I started off as an ag lender and then moved up to a commercial credit analyst and then ended my career in 99 with SunTrust Bank as a corporate lender. So I have a background in that as well as commercial insurance.
Now, when it comes to being a commercial lender, and you mentioned the word broker, not every time someone in a business is going for a loan are they sitting with a broker. What makes you different as a broker than, say, just going to one of those banks and just walking in?
Sure. When you walk into a single bank, you're going to get a single response. When you walk into Gsage Capital, you're going to get a variety of responses. So also, I was on the other side of the table. I was a commercial lender at one time, so I speak the language.
That's important. That's very, very important. So what type of products, you've said lending, and so a lot of people think, oh, that's a loan. But when it comes to commercial lending, there's a lot of different type of products. Give us a 45-second spectrum view. No, I'm just kidding. Without getting lost in the weeds, give us some idea of the spectrum of type of products that
Sure. It's a loaded question, but I'll go for it. Right now, SBA loans. It could be an acquisition of a business. It can be an acquisition of a building. It can be working capital to expand the operations of the company. Right now, prime's at 3.50. Obviously, after when the feds meet, it's going to probably go up another 50 basis points. But right now, SBA loans are very popular with startup companies, existing companies right now. So we're doing a lot of SBA loans. Then we do a lot of conventional loans. The best way to describe this are non-SBA loans. And again, that can be acquisition of a building, additional capital needing to expand inventory production, and so forth. It's all depending what the risk is.
One of the things you do, obviously, in a consultative role and being a broker is you kind of do the shopping for people. Do you encourage all the business owners listening today, would you encourage that even though they come to a broker that it's something you might want to shop around? Or is it when you find one person who can find the right product for you, and is it more that when you do that consultation you show them all the different options they have and show them why the one this one is the best or these two are the best that you need to choose from?
Sure. It's all depending, too. Some brokerage firms will have you sign a contract agreement or a fee agreement. It can extend from 30 days to 60 days. My suggestion, no matter if you go with Gsage Capital or another reputable broker, be married to that person and allow them to do their job, because they are going to provide variety to the table.
Especially a broker who can shop the market and find the right product and the right rate, that kind of stuff, rather than, again, if you walk into the bank and you're only getting one option, that's when you shop around and look for other things. Okay, so we're speaking with Stephen Collins of Gsage Capital, and when it comes to lending, I asked you about the different types in the spectrum, and you said it was a loaded question, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to say that based on the fact that I asked you a loaded question, I'm betting there's a lot of misconceptions. I bet there's a lot of misunderstandings, or I think I know the market, but I really don't know the market. What are some of the biggest misconceptions or the biggest misconception when dealing with a commercial loan brokerage firm?
The biggest misconception with a commercial loan broker is they come across as if we're magical. We're going to the same banks, but we're doing a ton of banks at one time rather than one bank. The same bank is going to require the same documentation and putting in that commercial loan package together. And that's where we come into play and consult and put that together for our clients.
When you say magical, though, that misconception, you're saying, it
easy money.
Okay. I want $5 million at 1% interest over 50 years.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Why can't you find that for me? Yeah. Okay.
I try to tell people, view your commercial loan broker as a traffic cop. He's directing traffic.
Right. And so let me ask about that. So we've kind of talked about shopping or looking around for the best potential product for a client. Okay, we choose a product. How do you help? How does Gsage Capital help in that, the paperwork, the getting everything prepared? What are some of the steps after we've chosen to go after this loan? How are you going to help them close it and get to the end of the process?
Sure. What we do is I'll send out an email. Let's use, for example, an SBA loan. Let's use the example that they're acquiring a business. There are certain SBA forms that need to be filled out for that business. I will put that together for them. Obviously, they'll complete it, but I will guide them and consult them in putting that. Then there's other required documents like financial statements, tax returns, personal financial statements that we have to put together, business evaluations, projection formulas, and I'll have all that for them easy to do.
You're a loan babysitter. Is that a fair term I just came up with?
That's a new term. I like it.
Hashtag
I'm going to use it.
Yeah. That's free marketing from Business RadioX to you, Stephen Collins of Gsage Capital. Now, Gsage Capital, this is, you are the CEO, president of Gsage Capital? Is
That's
that correct?
correct.
Okay. So how did, again, you didn't start that from day one, and you told us a lot of your background. What made you come to the decision to kind of start your own firm and be the head honcho?
I've been in the banking industry for a pretty long time. I still am well connected, specifically here in the metro Atlanta area, and I would still get calls, can you help me put a loan package together? Do you know any other bankers that you dealt with in the past that may help me with the situation? So basically put a business together based on that philosophy.
And how you kind of came back to this, you kind of came back into it and headed up Gsage Capital. How has lending to businesses changed in the last? I mean, you said '89, so you can go all the way back to that if you want. But it's, and I guess so many people are saying how so much changed with COVID, so much changed with the Great Recession of 2008. So what's different now than before?
Well, in the past, it used to be a handshake and good character,
right?
And now it's financial numbers, ratios, and are we going to survive? So I go back to the date when the Lehman Brothers crumbled to the ground and everything, and that's when Credit analysts were coming back into play, and thorough marketing analysis, thorough financial analysis were being done in order to approve a loan. So it's a lot more detail.
We don't need to go too far down this rabbit hole, but I will say, the handshake and the character, that only got you so far, and it turned out that maybe some of the character and some of the handshakes weren't as solid as they should have been, and so the analysts are there. But I would imagine at Gsage, along with the numbers, here's where the loan babysitting and you'll walk them through step by step. That's where the character comes back into play, is helping them go through that process.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And also translating the lender language to the borrower language to the lender.
So you're a babysitter, you're a translator. I would imagine there's counseling that goes on. Goodness gracious! Do you have a good cup of coffee when they come into your office as well?
Very strong.
Very good choice of words there by Stephen Collins of Gsage Capital. Okay, so let's finish up kind of talking about the lending market today. What's the biggest demand today for a commercial loan request other than the magical loan that doesn't exist, the unicorn loan that we talked about earlier? What's the biggest demand today?
The biggest demand today is the acquisition of businesses, specifically in the franchise world. You're seeing a lot of people leaving corporate, and they want to do something fun. So they're starting up or buying into a franchise, and that's where we come into play to help them. The other thing is real estate. They're not making it anymore. And right now there's a huge demand for investors, owner-occupied businesses. They're gobbling up real estate right now. So for right now, this is what we're doing.
And so let me just throw it out there. So we have a lot of business owners and business leaders who are listening, and I'm sure a lot of them have gone through a commercial loan already. But speak a little bit to that business owner first time. They've been in business a few years. They're making some profit. They're looking to make that expansion, whether it's through a real estate or through an acquisition of another firm or whatever it is. Talk to them. What do they need to do before they even call you that would make your job easier, that would make them a better candidate for a potential loan?
To have a thorough business plan in place, documented. Lenders love to hear a story, and they love to have numbers, even if they're pro forma numbers, to back up that story. And majority of the time when I have a borrower or client that comes in already with a business plan in place, 9 times out of 10, we're closing that deal.
When you say thorough, again, you use the word strong with coffee, and now you've used the word thorough with business plan. I want our listeners to take note of that, especially those first-time potential lenders. Thorough doesn't mean I got my vision on a piece of paper. This is a thorough, full-blown. Everybody can find those templates. Everybody can find I think Microsoft Word has a business plan that you can pull up and fill in your blanks. I mean, that's what you mean. The more detailed, the better.
That's correct. When I define thorough, 9 times out of 10, that business plan was done by a CPA or somebody who has an accounting background or a CFO background, which is a third party that put together for you for me to present.
When it comes to, last thing I'll say, when it comes to commercial lending, there's not a ton of commercials on TV or on the radio or in your favorite podcast, but I think sometimes it's, call us and we'll get you this, we'll get you that. I hope everybody is hearing the thoroughness of your interview. I hope everyone's hearing the professionalism. There's some industries, it's like there's not much difference other than service. I would imagine in commercial lending, there's some big differences in who people can work with. Am I overstating that? Am I hyping that too much? In other words, be careful of who you call. I asked earlier about shopping around. When you find somebody that's thorough, when you find somebody that's going to be professional and kind of help you through the process, are there some horror stories of people going to get commercial lending?
Yes.
And you don't need to name any names because you won't do that. So the key is to be thorough in their investigation of who they want to work with, and that should be Gsage Capital.
That's correct.
Yeah, that wasn't a question. That was just me giving you a testimonial. I guess where I was going with it is in commercial lending, there's a huge difference, right, between the shysters and the people who do their job poorly and then the really good lenders that know what they're doing. And you're clearly on one side of the aisle. So take your time and find the right person to work with. Well, we got him in the right here in the studio. Do you work just in the Metro Atlanta area, Gwinnett area? How far can you go?
We can go all over the United States.
Okay, fantastic. So your search has ended. You need to contact Gsage Capital. So how do people get in touch with you? How do people take that first step with Gsage Capital?
Sure. They can reach me on my number at 770-862-2464, or they can email me at gsagecapital.com.
Fantastic. And that email is scollins
at
Gsage.
I was giving the website.
Listen, I gave you free marketing with hashtag
Yes.
commercial loan babysitter. So scollins at gsagecapital.com. Stephen Collins, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Before we get to our next guest, I just want to remind everybody that Gwinnett Business Radio does come to you because of Regions Bank. We all know keeping your company's financial future on track means having the right resources to support your growth. Regions Commercial Banking offers you lending capabilities and strategic solutions tailored to your needs, and you'll work with a team of experienced bankers here in Gwinnett. Discover steps to take that can help move you closer to your business goals. Regions is here to help. To learn more, visit regions.com/commercial banking. Regions Bank, member FDIC. Well, we're thrilled to have our second guest in the studio with us as well. She is Jessica Gardner. She is the CEO of Blueprint to Success. Jessica, welcome to the studio.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Blueprint to Success. You know, okay, so I've done this a long time with a lot of different businesses. There are times where the business kind of clearly, so Stephen with Gsage Capital, I think I know what that kind of is talking about. Blueprint to Success, you've got me intrigued. I have no idea what it is. Talk to all of us about Blueprint to Success and what you guys do.
Absolutely. So it's funny you say that, Steve. I've thought about changing that a bit, but I just fell so in love with the name, and I feel like it really captivates our mission. So our tagline is building tomorrow's superstars. So we do that by providing excellent education services right now in the realms of music, tutoring, and swim. However, it's deeper than that. We create individual blueprints for each child's success. So we have our general curriculum, but I don't cookie cutter shove that down every kid's path. I get to know them. I learn where their strengths and weaknesses are and help them learn to self-regulate themselves. So when they have challenges, the things they want to overcome in life, this is a skill they can take with them forever. So building tomorrow's superstars. I like it. And you talked here at the beginning, it's swimming and music and was it art? Tutoring.
Tutoring. So that also is kind of, there's a spectrum there. So
right.
Is it a way of Blueprint to Success is partnering with different schools? Are you trying, is the way you do it, I'm sure the tutoring is kind of through the schools and maybe outside the schools, but how do people first engage with Blueprint to Success?
Well, originally we began in 2013 and we were just doing music classes. Mm-hmm. So we were doing in-home music classes, and it kind of developed into swim. And I really believe in the engagement of physical activity for our mind and how we can essentially process emotion better. So as we all know, we all went through the kerfuffle, 2 years ago. You were there, right? You were there.
I like that term, kerfuffle. I'm stealing that.
So we, the kids really needed additional education support. A lot of kids were having a hard time with virtual learning. So I've built an additional virtual online education platform that focuses on providing educational resources. Additional resources, that will kind of support the education experience and just make sure that every type of learner is covered, even if it's virtually.
I like that. So, sounds like the success of Blueprint to Success is directly tied to you. You're the CEO. You clearly kind of started the company. So who is Jessica Gardner? Tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got to start this and how you got to be in this chair talking to us this morning.
Sure. That's a super loaded question.
You only have 30 seconds.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Go. What I was going to say, okay, so I am a Tampa, Florida native. I went to Full Sail for recording, and I've been here since 2008. So after graduating college, I actually worked at a few prestigious recording studios throughout Atlanta and just was looking for my purpose, looking for what mattered to me, what made me want to get up, asking myself that question. So I started to see the unison of my personality and children and essentially, I think I just fell into a teacher job. I ended up being a substitute teacher somewhere. And from there, I started to create the curriculums for Blueprint to Success. I was lucky enough to work at a summer camp that eventually shut down, but it gave me the idea to see how much children really benefit from the arts, how much they really wanted. I was the audio coordinator for the recording division there.
Nice.
So from there, I just fell in love with it, and I just kind of ran with it. I was up all night figuring out how to make the website, and BTS was born 2012. So
I like it.
All right, so yeah, 2012, yeah, that's almost 2022, yeah, it's been that long. So so from there we've developed different after-school programs that kind of suffered during COVID, and no longer having those avenues. So we leaned into the virtual thing. And we've been in Gwinnett now since the beginning of the kerfluffle, April 2020.
So, and this journey, like you said, it started with music,
yeah,
and it kind of developed into swim and kind of now for tutoring and
right,
some online resources. This is a very dangerous question. If I asked you a loaded question before, now I'm going to ask you a dangerous question. It sounds like Blueprint to Success, kind of as you see where you can go or as you see where you're needed, you kind of start taking those next steps. Have any further next steps been revealed at this point, or are we kind of maxed for now, and we'll figure that out when the next thing comes along?
Well, I would say I'm always working, always working. So now.
Well, hold on. With swimming and music and you didn't need to say that, but go. I'm sorry.
I'll share some of one or two of our secret projects right now.
Ooh, a scoop on Business RadioX.
Just for Business RadioX.
Everybody listening, don't tell anybody yet. Okay, go ahead.
So we are working on developing some ideas with Gwinnett Parks and Recreation to do our aquatics programs, kind of delve more into that. So stay tuned for that. And we're also launching some projects for music come August. So there'll be a lot of new opportunities with BTS and Gwinnett come the fall.
And obviously, as you're doing these programs in different areas, even currently as you're doing stuff, it's not all you teach. How have you found other music teachers and other things to help?
Yeah, we have a few. We have so I'm only vested in piano and brass. That's my thing only. So everyone loves guitar, right? So we have a amazing guitar instructor, and then we also have a few vocal instructors that are coming on.
Nice.
So all these ideas have kind of stemmed from me. I wanted to say too and shout them out. I am also one of the inaugural members of the Gwinnett Entrepreneur Center. So they've really just embraced me, embraced BTS, and really helped us kind of delve deeper into what it means to really operate as a business.
And so that shout out to them leads me to ask the question: you are working in Gwinnett.
Yes.
Why did you choose Gwinnett?
It's funny, I didn't. My roommate did. I just kind of tagged along for the ride. And honestly, since I've been here, even though, COVID was in place and there was a lot of limited things happening, I started to dig deep. I spent my pandemic digging deep, researching, and I just loved every aspect of how Gwinnett reaches out to businesses and how they pour into entrepreneurs. And that's what I've been seeking this whole time in Atlanta. So I'm really grateful. Yeah. And I'm just super complete being here. So anything Gwinnett, and I'm glad that I was able to run into Mike a few weeks back. Yeah. So yeah, anything Gwinnett, we're here for it.
I like it. So do most people engage with Blueprints of Success on an individual basis, or are they coming connected through you? You talked about maybe a secret project with the Parks and Rec department. Are you in some of the schools, or is it all individuals that are finding you at this point?
Right now, we were in the schools previously at Fulton. Like I said, the after-school program is kind of up and twisted.
And it really hasn't come back to this point as we're taping in 2022.
Right. So we've had to pivot quite a bit. So it has been on an individual basis. Okay. So I am working on finding ways to bring it to more mass places. People are getting outside again. Yeah. So I am working on that.
And so then that leads to my question: how do most people find you? I'm sure there's some word of mouth, no question about that.
For sure.
But apart from that, what are some of the other ways people find you? Obviously, at the end of this interview, you're going to give everybody contact information, but how have people found you?
Honestly, honestly, it sounds crazy, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Solely.
That's not crazy at all.
I send out, like text blasts and stuff like that. And I just tell like my BTS ambassador, my clients that just love us and what we do. I tell them, hey, tell your friends. And they do. So I've been blessed that that's working.
So I'm the son of a musician. My dad was a pianist and a choir director and greatest pianist I've ever known. Of course, I haven't heard you yet, so we'll take care of that later. But it doesn't surprise me at all, because as it's been reduced, taught in schools, and as lack of funding or availability or whatever, that's not the purview of this interview. But as it's gone down, I don't think the desire for it has gone down, and especially with kids. It is such a great, and there are lots of them, but taking music, guitar, piano, voice, any of those things, it's such a great tool for children and teenagers to discover themselves, to find their voice, that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me, the word of mouth. So that's why you're on this show. So word of mouth here is good. So you kind of gave some secret things that are going on. Are there any kind of promotions or anything that you wanted to talk about here on the air?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a gift for the listeners of Business RadioX.
Wow.
I'm so grateful to be here. So I wanted to bring something to you guys like you guys have brought to us. So if you go to our website, blueprintttosuccess.academy, if you click on the classes button, any form there for swim, music, or tutoring, you can get a special gift if you input coupon Gwinnett Business Radio X.
Wow.
So Gwinnett Business Radio X, and you'll get your gift there.
So in the form, there'll be a place for them to put a coupon. And
right.
That's where they put Gwinnett Business Radio X.
Right. So right now,
and it's a secret what the gift is.
No, it's just 10% off. No big secret.
No, hold
there.
on. It's not just 10% off. It's 10% off.
It's 10% off
of
this fantastic swim program where your child is guaranteed to swim ages 3 and up.
Wow. Guaranteed to swim.
Guaranteed to
swim.
swim.
No matter how long it takes.
No matter how long it takes. And I will provide particular things for each child that they need to kind of grow.
Fantastic. I love it. So blueprintttosuccess.academy.
Right.
That's the website.
That's the website for now.
Interesting. And then if they go there, they'll be able to see all the different classes you teach.
Yes.
They'll be able to see, maybe read some testimonials or see some of the things that you do. And if they go to forms, they can enter Gwinnett Business Radio X for 10% off.
There we go.
I was working on the tone of that. So.
Sounds great. Yes, exactly.
And so the swimming classes, I'll finish with this.
Okay.
Where do those currently take place right now?
Right now, they are currently taking place at your neighborhood community.
Oh.
So home division communities,
Nice.
We're traveling to those.
I like it.
All through Gwinnett. We have a few clients right now in Smyrna as well, and in Dunwoody.
I would imagine the Parks and Rec, though, there might be some opportunities there. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but we're in conversations about that in the next few weeks. So we should be able to provide that. I think come August, we'll definitely be indoors for sure. So we can keep swim going all year round.
I'm glad the swimming didn't stay virtual, because that's a little weird.
I tried it, but, just having the iPad above the pool just became dangerous.
Right. Or getting in the bathtub to try and learn how to swim. Just doesn't quite work.
Right.
So blueprintttosuccess.academy, that's the website. Any other things anybody should know in order to contact Blueprint to Success, social media, that kind of stuff? Yeah,
so our Instagram at Blueprint to Success Academy. The website is there. Facebook is at BTS_1. And also, you can feel free to give us a call if you have any questions, 833-BTS-ACAD. 833-BTS-ACAD, and for those who don't want to figure that out, it is 833-287-2223.
Yeah, Jessica Gardner, Blueprint to Success, thank you so much for being here. And you are such a giver, because I would have made them figure out what BTS-ACAD is on the
No
phone,
one has time to think anymore. No one has time. But I did want to say this, though, before we wrap up for BTS in general. So just imagine, as an adult, if you guys take this vision with me, there's a lot of things that we are working on as adults, working on revamping within ourselves, little habits, little quirks that we have that may not be super conducive in our lives. Imagine if at an early age those quirks never came about. Imagine if you learned how to recreate or reprogram yourself and self-regulate yourself. So that is a huge thing that we're doing at Blueprint to Success, and an idea that's developing and will be broadcasted to everyone soon.
Man, all kinds of scoops and specials and coupons. You're full of surprises.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jessica Gardner, CEO with Blueprint to Success.
Thank you.
A big thank you to Stephen Collins from Gsage Capital. Thank you guys both for being here.
Thank
Want to remind everybody that that Gwinnett Business Radio does come to you from the Subaru of Gwinnett studios. Love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. You can enjoy big savings and a hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today, or come in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then check out their Facebook page for the latest news, offers, and community events. Also want to remind everybody that Gwinnett Business Radio is on our website, businessradiox.com. You can also check us out on basically every social media platform you can think of. All you got to remember is at Gwinnett Radio X. And we're also on your favorite podcast channel, so make sure you like and subscribe. So I flew solo. I'm kind of trying to catch Mike's eye in the producer chair to see if he liked what I had to do. He's not making eye contact with me. He's giving me his critique right now. So for the last time ever hosting from the captain's chair, I'm glad you stuck with me, crowd, because Mike didn't. So for our producer, Mike, and for our guest, this is your slightly annoying host today, Stephen Julian, saying we'll catch you next time on Gwinnett Business Radio.